Hi, my name is Jennifer. This is for the Mystery Box Artifact and Audio Reflection assignment. Um, the images display a collar that I have for my dog, Tyler, aka Ty, aka Shmoo, Shmoopy. I don't know where that nickname came from, but it stuck with him. Um, where this item is usually kept is in a box that I have accumulated multiple items of his over the years, which you could see in the top photo. The collar, out of anything in the box, the collar is the one that has the most sentimental value, or the birthday boy bandana, but mostly the collar. Um, I usually have this kept in that box with the other items, and I've had it for maybe about 8 years, 8 to 9 years. What would be lost if it disappeared? I'm not sure anything would be lost except the physical item itself, though seeing it does bring back the specific memory, but this memory will never disappear from my mind. It was maybe around the week that I had picked him up. And right after I had bought him this collar, I was driving him around trying to find his home because I found him behind my job and he was sitting in the same spot for 4 hours. So I'm thinking he must have been left here. Who would just, or he must have like ran from home. Who would just leave a dog abandoned? He was sitting there as if he was just like waiting for someone to come pick him up. So I bought him this collar, and this collar reminds me of the time where I was driving around trying to find his home, and he would be sitting in the front seat with me. It was the middle of summer, the windows are rolled down, and we had Post Malone, like this album that came out. It was I think the orange one that came out during that time. And I would just listen to it with him all the time. So one of the songs off that album connects me back to this memory of just being with him, and it's just going to be with me forever. A value, belief, fear, obligation, or promise. A few things go through my mind about the collar: protection, ownership, fear of loss in like more ways than one. Not just him like running off and him not being aware of like the physical dangers that are out there, but the moment of him not being here anymore, him passing away. Why this meaning matters to me. Back then, I guess I didn't realize the commitment that came with just putting a collar on a dog. It was just me thinking then it's like the safety of holding on to him when I was trying to find his home. But over the years, I guess it's taught me that some of the most important relationships in my life are not planned. And now that he's gotten older, and he's starting to show his age, the collar carries the fear of knowing that I could be losing him soon. Um, and knowing that our time together is short, but it has been meaningful. It represents like the beginning, literally the beginning and the end, but it holds all the memories of that like in between. Um, Number three, a story that comes from this object would ultimately be about it would be about ultimately finding a companionship without realizing you were looking for it or realizing that you even needed it. One type of game or experience that I feel drawn to because of this would be games that build connections over time. A good example of this would be The Walking Dead by the Telltale series. Um, it isn't really just about survival mechanics. It's about learning in those like hard moments, learning how to not only care for yourself, but be there for others, even when you're like scared and unsure. A game experience that I resist would be games that don't really offer much of like meaningful stuff behind it, something that's repetitive and only has like one main goal or objective. And I think the game that best exemplifies that would be Call of Duty. It just feels very repetitive to me, and I just don't seem to stay engaged with stuff like that. That was it. Thank you for your time.